Japan, land of ancient temples, serene gardens, bustling neon cities, a place where tradition and modernity coexist, where the past whispers through the present. But beneath the surface of this vibrant tapestry lies a current of mystery. Stories of strange occurrences, unexplained phenomena, and enduring enigmas. Tales whispered in hushed tones, passed down through generations. One such mystery takes root near the sprawling metropolis of Tokyo, in a seemingly ordinary house known only as the Somerton House. Built in the early 20th century, the house stood as a silent observer to the passage of time, its wooden frame absorbing the stories of those who lived within its walls. But in the humid summer of 1989, the Somerton House became the epicenter of an event so bizarre, so unsettling, that it continues to baffle investigators and ignite the imaginations of the public to this day. The story begins with a series of strange occurrences that were reported by the residents of the house. Unexplained noises, objects moving on their own, and eerie lights seen in the dead of night. These events were initially dismissed as mere coincidences or the product of overactive imaginations. However, as the frequency and intensity of these occurrences increased, the family living in the Somerton house could no longer ignore the unsettling phenomena. They reached out to local authorities and paranormal investigators, hoping to find some explanation for the disturbances that had turned their lives upside down. Investigators arrived, equipped with an array of devices designed to detect paranormal activity. EMF detectors, thermal cameras, and audio recording equipment were set up throughout the house in an attempt to capture evidence of the supernatural. Despite their best efforts, the investigators were left with more questions than answers. The equipment recorded strange anomalies, unexplained fluctuations in electromagnetic fields, sudden drops in temperature, and disembodied voices captured on audio recordings. Yet none of this evidence provided a clear explanation for the phenomena. Among the items found in the house was an old diary belonging to one of the previous residents. The diary contained entries that detailed similar experiences, suggesting that the disturbances were not a recent development but had been occurring for decades. The diary's author described hearing whispers in the night, seeing shadowy figures moving through the halls, and feeling an oppressive presence that seemed to watch their every move. These accounts mirrored the experiences of the current residents, adding a chilling layer of credibility to their claims. As the investigation continued, researchers delved into the history of the Somerton House. They discovered that the land on which the house was built had a dark past. It was once the site of a small village that had been abandoned under mysterious circumstances in the late 1800s. According to historical records, the villagers had experienced a series of tragic events: crop failures, unexplained illnesses, and a devastating fire that destroyed much of the village. These events led to the village being abandoned, and the land remained vacant until the early 20th century, when the Somerton House was constructed. The house was built by a wealthy merchant who was unaware of the land's troubled history. Over the years, the house changed hands several times, with each new owner reporting strange occurrences that seemed to defy logical explanation. Families came and went, each leaving with stories of their own encounters with the unexplained. Some spoke of ghostly apparitions, others of objects moving on their own, and a few even claimed to have seen the spirits of the long-departed villagers. Today, the Somerton House remains a focal point for paranormal investigators and enthusiasts. It has become a popular destination for those seeking to experience the supernatural firsthand, and many have come away with their own tales of eerie encounters. Guided tours of the house are now offered, allowing visitors to explore its haunted halls and learn about its mysterious past. The tours have become a significant attraction, drawing people from all over the world who are fascinated by the house's dark history and the stories of those who have lived there. Tour guides share the history of the house, recounting the tales of paranormal activity and the various theories that have been proposed to explain the phenomena. Some believe that the spirits of the villagers still linger, unable to move on due to the tragic events that befell them. Others suggest that the house itself may be a conduit for supernatural energy, amplifying the presence of spirits and otherworldly forces. In addition to the tours, the house has also been the site of numerous seances and paranormal investigations. Mediums and psychics have attempted to communicate with the spirits, seeking answers to the mysteries that have plagued the house for over a century. Some of these seances have yielded intriguing results, with participants reporting contact with entities that claim to be the spirits of the villagers or former residents of the house. These experiences have only added to the house's mystique, fueling speculation and debate among paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics alike. As night falls, the Somerton House takes on an even more eerie atmosphere. Shadows seem to move of their own accord, and the air grows thick with an almost palpable sense of unease. It is in these moments that the house's true nature seems to reveal itself, offering a glimpse into the unknown. Midnight is said to be the hour when the veil between the worlds is thinnest, and it is at this time that the house's paranormal activity is at its peak. Those brave enough to remain in the house during these hours often report the most intense and unexplainable experiences. Whether one believes in the supernatural or not, the Somerton House remains a place of intrigue and mystery. Its walls have witnessed countless stories, both mundane and extraordinary, and it continues to captivate the imagination of all who hear its tale. As dawn breaks, the house returns to its seemingly ordinary state, the eerie events of the night fading into memory. Yet the mysteries of the Somerton House endure, a testament to the enduring power of the unknown and the human fascination with the supernatural. The Somerton House stands as a reminder that some mysteries are never meant to be solved, only pondered and passed down through the ages, like ancient whispers carried on the wind. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unknown. Until next time, keep your mind open and your heart curious. The tranquility of a quiet residential street was shattered on a sweltering July morning. The sun had barely risen, casting long shadows across the pavement, and the air was already thick with the promise of an unbearably hot day. The residents of this sleepy suburb were just beginning to stir, their routines as predictable as the sunrise. Neighbors, accustomed to the gentle rhythms of daily life, were met with an unsettling silence emanating from the Somerton House. This house, with its slightly ajar front door and overgrown weeds, had always been a part of the neighborhood's landscape, a silent witness to the passage of time. But today, it seemed different, almost foreboding. Days turned into a week, the silence becoming an unbearable weight. The once vibrant street, filled with the sounds of children playing and neighbors chatting, now felt like a ghost town. The changing shadows and the relentless march of time only added to the growing sense of dread. Finally, driven by a growing sense of unease, a neighbor contacted the authorities. The decision was not made lightly. In a community where everyone knew each other, such actions were rare and carried a heavy weight of responsibility. The neighbors' hands trembled as they dialed the emergency number, their mind racing with possibilities. What they discovered inside was chilling. The police, seasoned veterans of countless investigations, were taken aback by the scene that greeted them. The house was eerily quiet, the air thick with an unspoken tension. The house was eerily undisturbed, furniture in place, belongings untouched. Dust had begun to settle on the surfaces, a silent testament to the passage of time. The living room, once a place of laughter and family gatherings, now felt like a museum exhibit, frozen in time. Yet, there was no sign of the family who resided there. Personal items, from children's toys to family photos, were left behind, as if the occupants had simply vanished into thin air. The children's room, with its colorful decorations and half-finished homework, was particularly haunting. No note, no indication of struggle, no trace of their whereabouts. The absence of any signs of a struggle only deepened the mystery. It was as if the family had been plucked from their lives without a moment's notice, leaving behind a perfectly preserved snapshot of their existence. It was as if the earth had simply swallowed them whole. The ground outside the house, with its subtle movements and eerie stillness, seemed to hold secrets of its own. The neighbors, once so sure of their surroundings, now felt a creeping sense of unease every time they passed by. The Somerton House, once a symbol of domesticity, was now a vacant shell, its silence a deafening testament to an unknown fate. The open front door, swaying gently in the breeze, seemed to beckon to the curious and the brave, daring them to uncover the secrets within. The overgrown yard, once meticulously maintained, now served as a reminder of the passage of time and the fragility of human existence. The empty hallway, with its peeling wallpaper and creaking floorboards, echoed with the memories of a family that had once called this place home. The mystery of the Somerton House would linger in the minds of the community for years to come, a silent witness to the inexplicable and the unknown.